In the times of slavery, many people of color they have to be separated by their families and to forced to work in another city in terrible conditions. Most slaves lived on a large farms on small plantations, many landowners owning less than 50 slaves. They were prohibited from learning to read and write, and their behavior and movement was restricted. Many landowners took sexual liberties with slave women, while rebellious slaves were brutally punished. Nobody knows more about slavery than people who have lived through it. Their experience and wisdom for the foundation of the modern anti-slavery movement, their histories of courage and triumph inspire us all. North's testimony was damning evidence against the entire system of slavery in practice at the time in the Southern United States. Yet, as a black man and former slave, North's accusations of white cruelty would have been subject to great skepticism even in the North.
I am Solomon Northup. I working as a violinist. I living with my wife and my two children in Saratoga Springs, New York. Two white men, Brown and Hamilton, offered me short-term employment as a musician if I will travel with them to Washington D.C. When we arrived, they conspired to deliver me to a slave pen. I am shipped to New Orleans along with others who have been detained against their will. A slave trader named Freeman called me Platt, and I worked in a plantation owner of William Ford, one man, a religious and beloved man. The tensions developed between me and white plantation worker John Tibbles, and several white plantation workers leaned me attack and survives by standing on my toes. I support other attacks and Canadian man helped me to return home after 12 years.
Hi, I am Roshan from India. I am 30 years old. I grew up like as a slave with my childhood. Was terrible because I had to work it without pay and suffer crushing physical abuse and sexual trauma. In my childhood, I could not go to school, play with my friends and my brothers. For me, it's so terrible because I always want to be normal life. I have to wake up at 5 a.m. until 10 p.m. When I did my duties, they beat me a lot of. I lived ugly bedroom. I had animals and stinks my bedroom. They give me only one food a day. Each of have one clothes. In this moment, I just want to be free man and share with my family.
In the times of slavery, many people of color they have to be separated by their families and to forced to work in another city in terrible conditions. Most slaves lived on a large farms on small plantations, many landowners owning less than 50 slaves. They were prohibited from learning to read and write, and their behavior and movement was restricted. Many landowners took sexual liberties with slave women, while rebellious slaves were brutally punished. Nobody knows more about slavery than people who have lived through it. Their experience and wisdom for the foundation of the modern anti-slavery movement. Their histories of courage and triumph inspire us all.
Throughout history, periods of slavery have been a dark time. Stories filled with sadness, inhumanity, and tragedy are the main emotions we feel when we learn about this topic. Despite the evils that arose from slavery, there are also some important morals to be learned. The will to survive, the kindness of humanity, the power to redirect and change history are all lessons that arose from slavery. The biggest lesson of all is empathy. Consider how history would have been different if the whites had treated blacks they were treated. We must remember that we are all humans and we are all equal.